Hi there.
Hi.
How is it going today?
Yeah, good.
Did you take a bath or what?
What?
Did you take a bath?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Very good. Is it a little bit cold in Sali?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh my gosh, great. Okay, so I also feel a little bit cold, great, today. Actually, great, the climate has changed. The temperature is getting cold and cold. Well, I hope everything is fine. Well, how about school? Is everything good at school?
Yeah, good.
Okay, nice, very good. I hope everything is all right. Well, for today, inshallah, we are good. Before we start, inshallah, with our class, I'm gonna challenge you just with a very simple warm up before we get into the class right away. I have here some letters. I'm going to show you the letter, and then you got to come up with a word that begins with that letter. Let's start with the letter P. Can you think of a word, a quick one, Greg, that comes into your mind?
Picture.
Picture. Nice. Okay, so what would you say about picture? Can you use the word picture in a sentence? What would you say about that?
I took a picture.
I take a picture, great. You like taking pictures as a hobby?
No.
No, not really, great. Some, are just, they are obsessed by taking pictures. Okay, some people actually. All right, very nice. Taking pictures. Good. Well, let's take another letter.
Uh, Jungle.
Jangle. Wow, that's a good word. Right. What would you say about jangle?
I went to the jungle.
Well, is there a jangle in Sally?
And no.
Not really, great. But just to give you an example, right? Yes. Okay, so we have maybe in Sali, great, or somewhere, great, outside, great, forest, right? Jungle, what makes a jungle different from a forest?
I don't know.
All right, so in a jungle, great, maybe you have more and more trees, great, everything is intertwined, great, that's a jungle. All right, there is, do you remember an anime? There is an anime of a boy in a jungle.
Oh yeah.
Remember
I
the
forgot.
name of that?
Tarzan.
The boy of the jungle, right? What's the
Tarzan.
name? What is the name of that?
Tarzan.
Tarzan. Oh, that's also possible. Yeah. We also have Mowgli, right?
Yeah, no.
I'm not sure if you know Mowgli or not, right? That's an
No,
old.
no, no.
Ah,
I
right. We used it when I was young. I used it to watch that Mowgli. It's a very nice one. Okay, so one more letter is the letter Y. Look, it looks like magic here.
you.
Can you explain this magic I'm having
Uh,
here?
green screen.
Green screen. The chroma key. That's the chroma key technique, right?
No.
What's the word?
You.
You, me. What would you say about you? Yes. Now you're obliged to say something about me.
I I'm talking to you.
I'm talking to you, right? Okay. You're so smart, man, right? You kept you at the end so that you're not going to give any information about me or any judgment, right? Or whatever. If you put you at the beginning, it means that you're going to say something about me, right? You say you go to school, you go to work, you're crazy teacher, you look happy or whatever, right? Very nice. But if you put you at the end, right, that doesn't provide any information at all. Well, let's move on to the letter N.
Uh, name.
Name. Okay, so would you use it in a sentence? What would you say?
My name is Omar.
My name is Omar. Great. Who named you, by the way? Daddy,
Um,
mommy,
no,
grandma?
I
You
don't
don't
know.
know. You don't know where your name came up? That's yeah, and that's a good question, right? Maybe to ask your parents. Well, let's move to the letter W.
Word.
Word, great, nice. Okay, so what do you think does the word remind you of?
Uh, I make it in a sentence.
Uh-huh. Okay, yes. These are we use words in order to make sentences. Very nice. Good. All right. How many words does a meaning have?
Me, one.
One meaning.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
I, I
How many meanings does a word have?
a lot.
A lot, right? Okay, it depends on the context where it is used, right? Right? If I say experiments, experiments may mean something in literature and they may mean something in science, right? So it depends on what do we use it for, right? To express what meaning and so on, right? Very good, yes. Well, how about the letter U? Say anything apart from umbrella.
Ugly.
What is that? Ugly.
Ugly.
Oh, yes. What would you say? Right? How are you going to use the word?
Uh,
Ugly.
Israelis are ugly.
What is it?
Israeli people are ugly.
All right. Who are those people?
Israelian.
Australian.
Israel.
Israeli. Right. Israeli, we say. Right. Israeli people are ugly. Right. Yeah. Why do you think they are ugly? Is it because they look ugly or because of something else?
No, what they do.
Oh, great. Based on their behavior. That's a good point. So, to be ugly or beautiful, it depends not only on your appearance, but basically on your values, your behavior, and your beliefs too, right? Okay. Actually, right, their beliefs is ugly. It's very bad, right? What they don't believe, that everyone has the right to live, right? That everyone has the right to be treated equally, right? They believe that they are the only humans on the planet, right? That's what they have in their beliefs, right? They think that anyone who is not a Jew is not a human being, right? That's it's maybe an animal or whatever, right? So that's a really an ugly belief, right? Okay, so not just ugly in terms of appearance. You might find someone who is ugly, right? But he is very kind and very, very happy, a good person, and so on. Right. Okay, the last letter, and then move on to the lesson right away. Well, let's take this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kilo.
What is that?
Kilogram.
Kilo. Yes. Okay. So, yes. Give me an example in a sentence. What are you going to say?
I bought 2 kilos of apples.
I got 2 kilos of apples. Great. Nice. Very good. Okay. And I have a challenge, right? I would like you to come up with 2 words in which K is not pronounced.
Night.
Nice. Very good. What do you mean by the nice?
The soldier. The
Oh, right. That is very nice. Good. Another word.
knee.
Knee, right? Very nice. Part of the body, right? That's correct. Yeah, very good. Then a good job, right? Well, how about your quizzes? Have you already taken your quizzes? Your first quiz?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I've already took it.
nice. How was your English mark?
Yeah, good. She didn't give us the mark yet.
Oh, right. Not yet. Okay. All right. No worries. Great. Well, let's move on right away, inshallah, to the lesson. We are going to discuss another important problem relevant to right? Something that we need, inshallah, right, to make use of, right, in a writing activity, right? I mean, we are going to generate ideas, discuss ideas together, but as a homework or maybe as a next session, plan, we're going to write an essay, know how to write an essay, to uh, about the topic that we'll be discussing after a while. Okay, so Omar, many students don't have access to school, right? Some students don't have access to school at all. And other students actually they have access to school, but at a certain time or at a certain grade or level, they stop and they quit school. What do we call this phenomenon?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
break out. They drop out of school.
Dropping out of school. That's our, topic of concern today. So we'll be discussing, right, first of all, what we mean by dropping out of school and what are the reasons why, some students decide to quit their schools. All right, so I think dropping out of school is quite clear. That means they stop, right? Students stop at a certain moment and they decide not to, right, to continue to pursue their study. So what do you think are the reasons, the main reasons, right, for those students, in your opinion?
Uh, they get they don't they get bad marks.
Uh-huh,
They don't
right.
study enough. They
Marks. Okay.
they just don't want school.
They just don't want school, right? Right. Why, in your opinion, they don't want school? Is there anyone who doesn't want school? Why?
I don't know.
Right?
Because
Maybe the subjects are not interesting to them, right? Maybe because there are other issues that they are concerned with. Maybe they want to find ways to make money, not to go and just wait for them waste time, guys, attending the school. Maybe they need urgently to work, right? Especially for broken families, for instance. Maybe, guys, or orphan students who even maybe don't have parents, so, or maybe have one parent and the other one is not, doesn't exist. So they need sometimes, great, to quit school in order to work and help their parents. Okay, that's one reason actually, great. Well, again, um, there are many other reasons, great, actually, why students may drop out of school. There are many students who there are many students, especially in my region, right, who might be living, traditional life as nomads in a desert, right, far away from school, right.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons, right, why their parents may decide not to send their student to school because they move from place to place. They are not stable, right? So they are nomads. These are what we call nomads, rohal, right? So they don't have this opportunity to settle down in a certain specific region. Again, others are living in mountains, right? Okay, so they don't have again this right. Maybe they don't have access to school at all, right? And even if there is a school, the school might be very, very far. Okay, let's talk about something very important, Omar. Are you a student in a private school or in a public school?
Private school.
What does it mean, a private school? What does it make a difference between a public and a private school?
In private school, you pay money, and public.
Hey, very nice, great. Okay, don't you think that's the payments and the study fees might be one of the reasons why some students decide not to continue?
Oh yeah,
Actually,
maybe.
right. Yeah. Okay. And even some of them, maybe I study as a student, I study in a certain private school. When the fees are, if I see that I can't afford, let's say the payments because of the high cost, the high fees, great, in that school, I may sometimes change the school again to another private school. And maybe if I can't continue anymore for some reasons, right? I may decide not to continue at all, right? Okay, so, but let me ask you, right? Do you think that dropping out of school is always a problem? Do you think is it a problem or something good, right? In your opinion,
Both.
both. Yeah. Can you explain to me, both cases?
Something good, like what you said, if they were nomads or
Uh-huh. Right. Okay.
living there, they can't just go to school. They just have to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, that's something bad.
All right. It's something bad, dropping out of school.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me talk about the school itself. Do you think that school is a good institution or it's a
Um,
bad one? Right? Do you think that it has good results or its impacts on students is very bad?
uh, uh,
Because many, many students feel happy just when there is no school, right? No class, when there is a holiday, when there is no homework, no study, no.
both, not
Do you know
both
that
of them.
some genuine people, maybe like Steve Jobs, at a
Yeah,
certain time he decided to drop out of school, of college, right?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
does that mean that he's gonna be a bad person, a failed person?
No,
He didn't mean that, right? Okay, so however, he was maybe a successful person, but what if we imagine the other scenario? What if Steve Jobs didn't drop out of school? Would he be able to, make that achievement that he made?
I don't know how to answer that question.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, right. And not just Steve Jobs, many, right, throughout history, many genius people, maybe Einstein too, right?
Even
Albert
Bill Gates.
Einstein, great, that's a genius in mathematics. Also said, great, maybe the story says that history says that maybe he was a failed student and so on when it comes to school. But after all, after right, his achievements in mathematics and physics, and it was really revolutionary, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me put the question in another way. Do you think that school, makes students educate them to be creative, or the other way around? It's just right, shape their mind in a certain way to be silly, right?
No, they learn them. In school they learn lots of things.
Good things or bad things?
Good things.
Good things, actually, right? It's good. Okay, so in a way, this is a debatable issue, right? This issue is really debatable. Some, very few opinions, of course, claim that school is not good because it makes students silly. It doesn't. Well, so it depends, actually. This opinion, right, is not 100% correct because it depends on the school that you're talking about. What kind of skills that this school try to install in students? Does it educate them to be creative, to be critical, or it just try to shape their mind, right, in a bad way, right, so that they become silly and more stupid, right? Okay, so let's go on to the to be more practical. We have a document here to try to organize, to prepare a short speech, right? Okay, we're going to end up with a short speech after organizing our brainstorming and organizing our ideas very well. Then you will have the chance to speak in front of an audience about this phenomenon, right? So you are required, the task is that you are required to speak in front of an audience. The audience can be students, teachers, right? The educational staff, whatever, or whosoever. And then you are going to tell them about the reasons why some students drop out of school. All right. So of course there will be an introduction, right? The introduction is you try to introduce the topic, right? Of course, you greet the audience, right? And then, great, you say thank you, great, for having me, right? Because maybe you are invited to speak. And then you say what you're going to talk about, okay? And I'm here, great, to discuss the reasons why many students all around the world, and particularly, great, particularly in our country, decide not to pursue their study. There are many reasons behind this. First, second, finally, right? Okay, so that's it. We're gonna have your first, right? There are some reasons when you talked about study fees, when we talk about maybe the high costs, right? Let's make it here, right? Very to be more practical, right? High, we talks about high study fees, right? Some fees in some institutions are, in some schools are, especially private schools, are very high. So that's one reason why some students may decide not to go to that school at all, right? High costs sometimes of learning, right? Materials, especially textbooks, right? Remember, especially when you study, right? You are students in a private school, Omar. Maybe you don't have an idea about, or maybe you have an idea about the costs or the high cost of, textbooks and students' books and so on, right? In a private school. All right, for
Yeah.
talking just about English textbook. What English textbooks are you using, by the way?
I think they're called Think, yeah.
Pink. Is it from what's the publishing house? Oxford, Cambridge?
I think Cambridge.
Cambridge, great. Okay, so Cambridge textbooks a little bit high, all right? Maybe just like three, right? Maybe 100 dirhams or 500 dirhams just to buy a textbook, right? Because sometimes they are not available in the markets, right? You got to, import them from, abroad. Okay, so high cost of learning materials, especially textbooks. And again, right, maybe some students can't afford, right, paying for their accommodation, for instance, right? Accommodation, right? Some students may need to pay for the accommodation. You know what I mean by student accommodation?
Yeah.
All right. Sometimes you have to pay for the accommodation, but if they don't have money, so they don't have anywhere to stay there because mostly accommodation is given to students who came far away, whose homes and so on is very far from the institution. Okay, so these problems. How can we categorize these problems, Omar? We're talking about fees, high costs, payments. What kind of problems are these? Are they social problems, social reasons, educational reasons?
Uh, s- uh, Financial.
Financial. Great job, Omar. Great. These are financial reasons, right? Okay, there are economic and financial reasons why some students decide not to decide to drop out of school. It's number one, the high study fees, right? Many fees in many private schools in particular are very high. And the government is right now planning to impose study fees even on public schools, right? حتى في المدارس العمومية هنالك توجه الآن باش حتى هما يبقى يخلصوا على القراية, right? ماشي غير private schools, right? That's a big problem, right? Now, these are financial reasons. There is another category of reasons, actually, right? We talked about before. I think we didn't discuss one point, right? In America, at a certain time, Omar, in America, there is what we call the Black Movement. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this word or not.
No.
Black Movement. Black Movement is the movement, revolution, right? Thora, right? Black Movement is a revolution by black people in America, right? American
Oh, yeah.
African Americans, let's say, okay, in 70s, 60s, and so on, in 1970s, right, 60s, and so on. At a certain time, why did they rebel? It's because simply there is racism, discrimination between white people and black people. Black people don't have the right to study. They don't have access to school. Only white people study, only white people have the right to transportation and many other services and so on, healthcare. This was in America, right, at a certain time, right? America
Yeah.
now that it talks about democracy and development. Just few maybe right decades ago, America right was an area where racism is spreading. So this is a social problem, right? Omar, right? So we have this problem of racism, right? Sometimes is one of the reasons why students, decide not to continue, right? Even if they have given, in certain cases, the chance to study, but right, they don't treat them as equal, right? White people are always superior than black people, right? Wherever you go. So there's problem of racism and discrimination. Tamiz, great discrimination. There is right, we talked about we can talk about the problem of poverty as a social problem, right? So poverty is always also so it's a socioeconomic problem, right? Reason actually, right? And maybe right. Okay, so these are, let's say that these are social reasons, right? And then you mentioned, Omar, you said that some students, get bad marks, right? Not only bad marks, but yes, they got bad marks, and as a sort of punishment, they were maybe excluded, right, from schools, right? They were kicked off, right? Okay, you're not going to continue grade studying anymore because you always get bad marks, all right? You double the year and then, right, you again and again. So, yeah, the last time you'll be fired, right? So these are educational, pedagogical, right? Pedagogical reasons, right? Okay, so these are educational and pedagogical reasons, right? What's great, some students fail in their learning career because they got bad marks, and as a result, they were punished and they were deprived of the right to continue their study, right? So there is, in this situation, there is no consideration of their intelligence, right? Did you hear about multiple intelligence, Omar?
Of what?
Multiple intelligences, right?
No.
All right. So multiple intelligences. This is a theory by Howard Gardner, right? This is a theorist in a way, someone who is interested in education and so on. He said that students are not, there is no silly students, right? There is no silly student. There is no stupid student. There is only a student who is smart in a specific area or specific subjects. I may be bad at mathematics, Omar, but I'm great at languages, right? Someone may
Yeah.
be bad and stupid at languages and mathematics, but he's great at music. That's why he distinguishes between 7 types of intelligences. Some of the examples of those intelligences, it talks about mathematical intelligence. Someone is smart, a boy who is smart at calculations and mathematics. Musical intelligence. Someone is good at playing on a musical instrument. it talks about linguistic intelligence. And I think that you are linguistically intelligent and smart, Omar, right? Someone who is good at language, right? He can play with language and so on. He can learn languages easily. So that's a smart guy. So these are some spatial intelligence, emotional intelligence, and many others. Great. So there is no silly boy. There is only a boy who is smart in a specific type, right, of intelligence and so on. But the school don't understand that, right? They impose maybe just like 10 subjects to learn, and you got to be good at these subjects, right? Some students actually, right, don't succeed, right, in their quizzes and don't pass their tests and examinations and so on, and then, right, they drop out of school. It doesn't mean that they are stupid. Even if they drop out of school, but they are still intelligent. They are good at playing sports. Maybe they are good at smart at playing some musical instrument. So the school doesn't recognize and doesn't admit that those people are, good students, and then they can, right, have a good learning career, right? Okay, so Omar, now it's your turn. You try to wrap up all what we have said now. You imagine yourself that you are invited as an expert, that you are invited to speak to the audience before an audience about dropping out of school. You explain first of all, you introduce yourself. You greet the audience. Hello, everyone. It's my honor to talk to you, to be here with you today. Or thank you. Or hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. It's my honor to be here with you today to talk to you about dropping out, about this social phenomenon, which is dropping out of school. And then there are some financial reasons that make, right, like this, for instance, for example, you explain. Second, there are also some social reasons why, right? Then there are some educational pedagogy reasons why. I'm talking about social problems, we'll talk about poverty, we'll talk about racism and so on. Educational and pedagogical reasons. Then you talk about right, this question of getting bad marks and failing at school, punishments, right? Some students are, badly punished and they were sent out of school. And you talk about the fact that schools don't recognize one's personality and multiple intelligences and so on. Okay, so here we go. Let me change the background just to create this situation of speaking in front of an audience. Here we go. All right, here we go. So this is Omar, and you're talking to the audience. The floor is yours, Omar. You speak, right? You introduce the topic, and then you go ahead. Right? Yes.
Hi, it's an honor participating in this talk. So the topic is dropping out of school. So there are three major reasons of the people for people to drop out of school. Firstly, financial reasons. People drop out of school because of the high study fees of school or the cost or high costs of materials, and there are other students and also drop out of school because they can't afford paying their accommodations. Secondly, social reasons. People also drop out of school because of racism and discrimination, or also poverty. Thirdly and finally, educational reasons. People also drop out of school because they get bad marks, and then they get kicked out as a punishment.
Yeah.
Or they can, or they no consideration of their intelligence.
Great job. That's all. Thank you. All right, very nice. Great. You need an ending or closing, Omar, right? Okay, closing is that's all. Thank you for listening, or thank you for your attention. That's an amazing job, man. Great. You've done a good job and you deserve a golden star for me. Great. Yeah, very good. Yeah. That's really an amazing performance. You remember all the things, the details that we talked about. That's really astonishing, right? Okay, I think it's time to call it a day. Do you have any question, Omar, before you go?
No,
All right, that's it for today, and have a good day. Take care of your health, right? Because I see that after the bath, right, maybe got uh,
no, it's not the bath. I was sick before.
oh, right. I didn't hear about that. I didn't know about that. I hope what was it, right? Is it cough or cold, fever?
No, just cold.
Cold, right? Yeah. Okay. So the weather, the climate is changing actually, right? Every day. So you got to be careful about your clothes, right? And your nose too, right? If it's possible, right? Why not? If necessary, right? To put a mask if you think that you that the weather is not that good. I wish you soon recovery, inshallah, and see you next time. All the best and goodbye.
Goodbye.